For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kimber. I'm the program manager in Colorado Springs. Go ahead and get up out of your chairs and bring your chair with you to the back of your room or just an open space. Couple of reminders, we have our strength training webinar series happening now. We have the bench press tomorrow. The deadlift and the squat were recorded. So if you need the links for those, let me know. And then we have our Go for the Gold challenge. Our opening ceremonies are this Friday, where you can get more information. But then the events begin next Monday with the Olympics. So they will run the length of the Olympics. And we have 4 different events. It's going to be really fun, so you don't want to miss it. Please let me know if you need any links or have any questions about that. So we are going to go ahead and get started today. Go ahead and find some space. Just have your chair nearby. We're not going to use it quite yet, but we're going to start with some hip openers. So I want you to take your right leg. We're going to lift it up, around, and down, and then repeat that. I want these to be really slow and controlled. So when we lift up, we don't want to sink into the left side or lean. We want to isolate that movement in the right hip. So you're really intentionally bringing it around and down. Starting to warm up the core here as well. Let's do one more in this direction, and then we'll switch. So you're going to start back and bring it up and around like you're walking over a fence. You get to choose your range of motion here. So if you need to decrease that range, feel free. You know what works best for you. You want to try not to rotate fully, but again, isolate that movement in the hip joint. 2 more. And then we'll switch sides. So that left leg now, take it up, around, and back. And just notice if this side feels any different. It could feel better, could feel a little bit stiffer. So just kind of notice that and adjust accordingly. Keep that core strong. 2 more. And then we'll reverse it. So starting back, take it up and around like you're walking over a fence. Starting our balance early in this class today. Try your best not to hold on to anything. We have 1 more. And go ahead and rest. I want you to take your right leg and step it back. We want to be in a staggered stance here. So I should be able to see both your feet if I stood in front of you rather than on a tight rope. So you have a nice stable base. We're lunging into that front leg, and then I want you to tuck your tailbone, like you're tucking your tail between your legs as if you were a dog. You should start to feel that stretch in the front of the back leg. You could feel it. Most of the time, we're going to feel it in your hip flexor, but it might be down into your quad as well. This might be enough for you, but if you want a little bit more, I want you to send that right arm up to the sky. You're going to start to feel that whole right side open. You could stay here or gently lean to the left towards that front leg. Big deep breaths. Keeping that tailbone tucked. So we're tucking the tailbone so that we're not dumping into the low back. It's going to help get that good stretch, but also protect that low back. One more breath here. Maybe you can get a little deeper. And then go ahead and bring it back up center, and we'll switch sides. Left leg goes back. Find that staggered stance. Lunging into the right leg. Tuck the tailbone. Maybe you stay here. That could be enough of a stretch for you. Or maybe you lift that left arm up. Holding here or leaning over to the right side or holding. Big deep breaths, keeping that tailbone tucked. Shoulders and hips facing forward. And then slowly come back center. For this next one, this is where our chair is going to come in. Our chair is going to help us get a little bit deeper in the stretch. I will give you a progression of this stretch without the chair, but the chair is going to help us in the beginning here. So I want you to step your feet nice and wide. So it looks like this, and my toes are slightly pointed out. From there, hands are going to be on the chair. We're going to hinge our hips back as we lunge to one side. I want you to feel a stretch in that adductor, the inner thigh of the straight leg. Then you're going to come up center fully, so squeezing the glutes to extend, and then switch. So I'm hinging and squatting in that one leg. So it's kind of a combo of both. Now the chair gives you something to hold on to so you can get a little deeper in that stretch and come up. Now I'm not gripping the chair with dear life. I'm just leaning on it so that my body can lean forward and I can send my hips a little further back. Keep doing that, and I'm going to show you a progression of this. So our full version of this is going to be using the ground to get as low as we can in this lateral lunge. Now, obviously, this depends if you're in an office space or at your house and you feel comfortable touching the ground. The full version of this is to do it without hands. I'm not quite there yet. It's a pretty deep lunge, but you can always use different levels of elevation. That's why we're starting with our chair to progress into that. It's really important for our hips to get side to side movement. We often just move forward and back. Same with our spine. So that's what we're focusing on today. Let's do two more or make it even, whatever that looks like for you. And then come back up center. I would encourage you to practice that or add that into your daily routine. Just a few side to side lunges, maybe while you're on a call. We're going to stand with our feet hip distance apart. We're going to start our balance challenge here. So I want you to screw that left foot into the ground so our whole leg is nice and active. From there, we're taking our right leg out to the side and back down. You can tap it and reset each time, or you can challenge yourself by hovering that leg and kicking it back out. Similar to that first exercise, we want to isolate that work and movement into the hip. So when I kick out, I don't want to lean over to the left. I want to squeeze my cheek, the side of my cheek, to lift my leg and lower it. My core is engaged, chest is up. This is 3, 2, last one. Go ahead and step onto that right leg. Screw that foot into the ground as if you're ripping a paper apart. Now my left leg is going to lift out to the side and back down. Either tap or hover and send it back out. When we send it back out, I want you to pay attention to whether your leg likes to rotate out or if it stays parallel. Today, I just want you to notice, and then as you continue practicing, I want you to try to keep that leg parallel. It's going to help isolate that glute med lateral glute muscle. Find a spot to focus on, shoulders relaxed. 3 more. Last one. And shake those legs out. I'm going to move my chair just because I don't have as much space. But we are going to do a lateral balance challenge since we've been working on that side to side work. So I think most of you know what the exercise skaters are. We have a couple options here. So full skaters, we're going to be hopping from one leg to the other, finding balance on each side before we continue. Now an option is to just step. So it's basically this step, tap, step, tap. So you take that hop out, or you can step, hover. It's going to be the second option. And then the third is going to be that hop from side to side. All right. So you get to pick your variation. You can mix and match as we go, but we're going to begin now. Side to side, use your arms, find that same hinge and squat that we did in our lateral lunge. Each time you want to find your balance before going to the next one. So instead of falling to the next side, we're controlling that hop. When you add a hop and you add that momentum, it adds a lot of challenge. So if you're feeling unstable, don't get discouraged. You have 5 seconds. Try to keep moving whatever variation you chose. Getting your heart rate up here. 2, 1, and rest. Shake it out. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if you have any questions, need any links. And if not, I will talk to you or see you next week.